This video is sponsored by DxO PhotoLab.
Hello everybody, welcome to another quick video. Now today we're in North Cliffe Woods in East Yorkshire and there's a bit of mist in the air. I don't know if you can work that out over my shoulder. It's been quite a foggy morning, so we thought, right, let's get down into the woods. We're just on the cusps of autumn really getting going, so there might be some colour, there might be some fungi. Don't know, we're going to see what we can find. And I'm going to try and get one specific shot, but I'll talk to you about that when we get in there. So as I said, we're just on the edge of autumn really starting to get going. It seemed one of the things we were expecting it to be like a short, sharp autumn that's just happened and then gone. But it seems to have just stalled. We've got bits, you can make them out of just a little hint of colour coming through. But the silver birch are just beginning to turn. So when you've got with lovely shapes that we've got in there, the ferns are just starting to get that lovely sort of golden rustiness to them. Mixed in with that, oh, it's just beautiful, it really is. There's just enough mist to play with in here. It's not over the top, it's just quite nice. So I'm running the 12 to 100 on the own one. So got the option to sort of zoom in a bit. I've brought the wide angle with me. We've got the 7 to 14 just in case. But that may or may not come off. But it means at least with this can do a little bit longer shots, running down paths and stuff like that. So that's the idea anyway. But yeah, there's some absolute gorgeous scenes. Got here, can work that out. Got the shoulder there. There you got this beautiful sort of hint of the mist with that silver birch that's fallen there. But you just got the hints of gold just coming through, and it's absolutely beautiful. So basically, that's why we're here. We've come to see what it's doing, and so far it's not disappointed. For those who enjoy it, settings wise, I'm just aperture priority as per normal, auto ISO. Despite it being quad dense woodland, it's fairly bright anyway, so everything's sort of sorting itself out with that. And aperture wise, so anywhere between f4.5, f6.3, possibly pushing to f8 if I want to get a little bit more depth in. But I'm pushing more to sort of the open aperture more because I want to get a bit more of an ethereal feel to it. So if you've got everything pin sharp all the way through the frame, you don't really get that, but you can sort of use the mist, use the depth, and actually play a bit with the aperture. It works quite nicely. But with what I'm seeing here, we are literally just on the cusp of autumn kicking in, and that lovely sort of golden rustiness you get with the ferns just coming over the tops. There are sections that the ferns haven't even started turning yet, but with what we've got, of the sort of the depth of the wood here, it's just absolutely beautiful. When we came up last year was a very strange autumn, so we're up here sort of the first weekend in November, and that was very much a case of nothing had really got going. But this is just on the edge, and it is beautiful. The silver birch, when they're in this sort of look, I absolutely adore, with just that little turn of yellow on the tips of the leaves. Just gives so much character. So the one shot I'm looking for, obviously, weren't expecting the mist this morning. That's just a bonus. But there's a cracking silver birch in here, which has got so much character, it's untrue. So we'll pick that up as we sort of wander through. Hopefully the mist actually will hang around just enough to make it work nicely. But definitely, what a beautiful bit of woodland. As you've heard at the start as well, going to be working with DxO quite a bit, and more specifically DxO PhotoLab. Now those of you who know me know I don't do the subscription models. To to the point of, yeah, for the most part, I've been running Linux for the last 5 years. So yeah, I've avoided the Adobe side of things, and frankly, I don't like the idea of constantly paying for a piece of software that you're using, especially when, you know, my usage case really is not to the point I'm making big bucks from using it, so it doesn't really pay for itself. But if you've got a piece of software that you can pay for, and you get a perpetual license for that, so it's a lifetime license that you're buying, and really you only have to sort of pay for upgrades, and then you get a special discount on the upgrade itself for a major version. Yeah, that's the sort of thing I'm interested in, and that's exactly what DxO are offering. So like I was saying, we've got some of the finest trees around along here. There's a bit of mist. We're just in a pocket where there's not too much mist, but some fantastic fungi just climbing up the side of the tree there. So I'm going to keep on going down. Just met a couple of photographers that have been here since 7:30, viewers of the channel. Great to meet you. So I'm going to head down the path a little bit further, see if there's a bit more down there before we sort of head over to the area that I'm thinking to actually do sort of the one specific shot that I'm going to basically just cover a bit of an edit and sort of show you what you can do with the DxO software. So I'm just looking at a nice set of shrooms at the moment, so I might get a few more shots of this. And we'll go wander down and see what else is around. Right, so we've got down to the bit that I want to shoot, and it's this amazing silver birch here, and it's doing exactly what I wanted it to. We've got the lovely embers of autumn just started on the edge of the leaves. A little bit of the fern still there, but turn a little bit, so you've got a little bit of contrast on it, and just the background, absolutely beautiful. Just a hint of mist in the air. Yes, absolutely perfect. So that's the shot I'm going to be really concentrating on today. Found the tree before when we came up with David Flower a few weeks back, and I just love it. Absolutely brilliant. It's just got so much character. So I decided that'd be the one to shoot. Got the shot at 40mm on the lens. So I just want to sort of take as much of the sky out as possible. I don't think it works very well for it, but there's just a hint of light coming in. I think it's worked really nicely. So we're going to get back and get the edit on, and I'll see you about there. Okay, so that's our raw file in DxO PhotoLab. You may notice things look fairly similar to a lot of other software. You've got a lot of controls in there, but we're going to do some basic edits on this just to set things up. Now, how I've got this set is by default, it'll open up just a basic sort of approximation of the stored JPEG. So it's a fairly flat profile with a few little tweaks, so nothing too major. But you do have these great tools like the DxO Smart Lighting, which actually, you can just see the difference in there, just pulls things back, just auto sort of corrects the contrast a little bit, which can help if you've got a bit of an awkward scene. You've also got Clearview Plus, which is kind of a little bit, it's sort of a mix of sort of clarity and dehazing. It sort of just tidies up the contrast a little bit automatically. I won't be using that on this image because I want to just tweak things a little bit myself, but let's start with the edit itself. And first thing I need to do is bring those highlights down a bit. I'm actually going to bring the exposure back a touch as well, because I did expose to the right a little bit with this one, so it just helped out a little bit. I'm going to push the shadows a little bit and just pull the blacks down. There we go, that's not too bad. Turn on the contrast, or a little bit more contrast in the scene, just to sort of bring all these sort of details around the back. I just want to bring those out a little bit further. Obviously you've got all your tone curves as per normal as well, so that's always good. And you also have vignetting there, that actually sort of corrects any vignetting with your lens, so it's all good because DxO are fantastic as far as sort of lens correction goes. That's what they're really well known for.
So obviously we're into the colour section now. As far as sort of the colour temperature goes, I'm going to just warm that up a little tiny bit because I got an auto when I took the shot, so let's just warm that up just a touch. It doesn't need much, just a little bit. There we go, just gives it a little bit of an autumnal feel to it. And essentially what I'm going to do, I'm actually going to play a little bit with the green on this. So I'm on the HSL adjuster, so we're on the green. I actually want to push the greens over a little bit and just bring that back, just because I want a slightly different look to the green. Cause obviously you can go completely extreme like that, but I want it to be more of a subtle look to it. I'm actually going to pull the saturation on those as well. There we go, that's more how I'm sort of envisioning this. I want that sort of painterly feel. You can do your channel mixer as well, actually adjust things around, very much like people that use Lightroom would be used to this sort of thing as well. And there's a lot of extra features that you can sort of pull into this, even with the toning. So you can actually have essentially post-processing filters, and to be fair, I quite like the gold on that. That looks quite nice. I'm actually going to drop that filter on there. That gives me a good starting point for what I wanted to do. As you can see, it's brought out the yellow in tips of the silver birch on the leaves, but left the rest of it the same. That's not bad at all. I quite like that. The thing I don't like is this branch right up the top. It's drawing me away from where I want things. So I'm just going to play with the crop here. So I've gone to the tool action there, and I want to crop this maybe a 5:4. That's almost there. Right. Click the crop tool, and this is where you can actually adjust your sizing, your positioning of your crop. Obviously I want that to be perfectly on the third. This is breaking through up to the third there. That's exactly how I want things to look. So yeah, that's nice. And there we go. We'll go to the FX tab, because what I want to do here is just put a bit of creative vignetting on and just soften those edges a little tiny bit, not too much, just a little bit. That's not too bad. It just takes the edge down, because you still got a little bit up there. Obviously you've got extras in here that you can actually sort of add various different filters. You can really play with this a lot. The miniature effect here, you can sort of emulate a tilt shift sort of feel to it. Obviously we won't be doing that with this one, but yeah, there's a lot you can do in here. You can also add watermarks, text and image. Yeah, there's so much in there. The one I'm going to use is the frame, and I'll put it on the outside of the image. There we go. So that automatically puts a frame in. Now, those of you that sort of watch the channel, you'll notice that most of my images do have a frame on there. Two reasons: a lot of the time this goes out on social media, so I like to put a frame on there. Just gives it a little bit better look. But on the video, it sort of gives you a nice demarcation as to where the image stops and the background begins, because I use a black background to display the images. That's mainly the reason that I put it on there, but that makes it really easy. Last tool on here is masks. Now, local adjustments on this, I'm going to put a gradient mask in, and I want that at the bottom of there, and I want it to be, yeah, something like not perfectly straight, but something about there. Because what I'm actually going to do on this is actually going to push that a little bit harder with the exposure. Actually bring that down just a little bit more, just so you get a bit more of the detail there. And then what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to get a luminosity mask. So add a fresh mask. I want it to be a luminosity mask, and I want it to be the highlight area, so just affecting the highlights, nothing more. And it gives you a bit more finer control than just using sort of the standard sort of highlight sliders. What I'm going to do, actually push a little bit of the Clearview Plus in, and as you see, if I push that, you can see the difference that's making, and that can really sort of just set the scene nicely. Going to put a little bit of contrast on those as well, just so it sort of gives it the look that I want. Now we're getting close now. That's getting close to really how I'm looking at it. I just want to adjust the the colour a little bit, because I'm thinking I may need to actually sort of tweak that a little bit more than I got before. Now, obviously we've got the greens on there. I'm going to look at the orange. Basically, I just want to sort of pull the luminance down on the oranges, just that little bit more. So you can see, it's literally, it only affects the colour that you're looking at. I don't want to push it too hard. I just want to bring that down a touch. I'm just going to expand its area of influence just that little bit as well. So if I sort of oversaturate that, you'll see what I'm affecting. So I want those to be sort of fairly strong. I want the golds really to stand out nicely. I think that's working quite nicely there. And I suppose the other thing that we can do as well, like I say, you can adjust your tints, your temperatures, everything you can do in most other editing software. But the control this gives you is really, really nice. Go back into the main side of it as well. You've got obviously control over all of your curves and that. I'm not going to mess around too much with that because I'm fairly happy with how that looks now. All the stuff in here as well. The denoising. You've got a standard denoise on there. Works the same as most other setups with the luminance and chromacity. But they also have DeepPRIME and DeepPRIME XD and XD2. They are the AI noise reduction and they are phenomenal. I use Topaz and they are up there right with those. You do have an option to actually have them previewed. If you've got a very powerful machine, that works, or you can actually just have the preview standard and then sort of it'll actually apply the DeepPRIME noise reduction as you actually send it out. For now, I'll just leave it on DeepPRIME 3 so we can have a look at it and we can run that through. But I think I'm fairly happy with that edit, so I'll get that exported and I'll show you it now.
There we go. Hopefully you saw how easy that was and how powerful that was to actually be a really nice edit. But we're now back from the future as it was, so back in the woods, and keep on wondering, see if we can find a few more patches of mist and see what other characters pop out to us. So as I do, I'm off piste. We've got some beautiful, beautiful diamondback bracken and some of the most amazing silver birch you've ever seen. Shots wise, there's lots. There's so many compositions here. It's almost not funny. But having to be a little bit selective on what to sort of pick out because it just gets a little bit overwhelming. So you can get too much in a scene and it doesn't really play well. But yeah, that thing there. Absolutely beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I've tried to like bring it in with one of its neighbours here, just trying to, but I've also tried to like get that lovely sort of separation that we're being given with just that hint of mist, and just using the silver birch woodland just gives a lovely background. And yeah, it is beautiful. It is absolutely beautiful here. We're going to get round and into the other section of the wood now, because essentially we've come that far off piste. I'm not entirely sure where we are in the wood, but I think I've got a rough idea. So yeah, I can get sort of round to the other section because there's a lovely opening with a couple of nice trees there and a great bit of a birch woodland further in, which is right next to some fields, so that could still have a bit more mist to it. So I'm going to have a bit of a wander through there. So rolled in through the undergrowth and see what we can find. So, if you want some fantastic software, which is powerful, has some of the best noise reduction that I've actually seen at all, I've used topaz before. I actually think it's better than that. It seems a little bit more natural, if that makes sense. It has all the power that you need, and frankly, you're not going to be tied to a subscription, and you're going to get essentially one of the best piece of editing software out there for a fixed price. Go ahead, check out this link below, and while you're at it, use the discount code LEEW15, so that one there. Use that discount code, it'll get you 15% off. You can download a free trial, so have a go, see what you think. If you do purchase, use that discount code, get you 15% off, and I think you'll agree, it's a fantastic bit of software. So hopefully you enjoy this little wander around the woods, and I think you'll agree, it's a very special place, it really is. Absolutely gorgeous. But if you enjoy the video, please do hit that thumbs up, that really helps the channel out. And if you're not subscribed, hit subscribe, you'll see more of this stuff from me every week. But from an absolutely beautiful North Cliffe woods in East Yorkshire, thanks for watching, we'll see you again next time. Take care.
It's 2 AM and I can't fall asleep, 'cause I'm not tired. I'm thinking about the days we used to shine when we were young. I told you that we should start a band and reach for the sky. It's 2 AM and I can't fall asleep, I'm just not tired. I can hear the raindrops falling. It's cold outside, and I kinda feel like calling, but it's too late now. I just miss you. I just miss you. We were such a constellation, right? No, you'd agree.